Getting better by the day. All right.
All right. So let me tell you how to use your seatbelt. So to use your seatbelt, just like on an airline, you have the metal latch here. You're just going to insert it into the buckle. Make sure that it's tight and it doesn't slip out like that just did.
Okay.
Pull it tight. If you need to release it, you can lift up on this latch and it'll release right out.
All right.
In addition to the seatbelt, there's also a shoulder strap that you're going to want to make sure you have latched onto that nub right there.
Okay.
Any questions on that?
Nope.
Okay. I want you to wear the seatbelt the whole time that we're on the ground, taxiing into air, takeoff and landing. Just keep it on at all times for this flight. In the event we have to make an off-field landing or an emergency landing, there's 2 doors on this plane that you should be aware of. You're sitting next to the primary door, so it'll be your responsibility to open that door if necessary. So there's 2 latches. There's one up there on the top and one here. You lift this up to open, and you turn that to the open position to open it. The opposite will close it.
Which way?
Sorry?
Which way? What have I not done yet, by the way?
Put your seatbelt on.
Oh! So good thing to do is say, here, why don't you do this with me?
Right.
That way you make sure that it doesn't happen. Of course, now I'm saying that I can't even figure it out. So what I'm getting at with
some help?
Where does it go? What I'm getting at is have them open and close the door.
Okay.
Because if you're entrusting them with the this is a very selfish thing. If
Yeah.
you're entrusting them with the responsibility of having your only primary exit out of here, make sure they can do it.
Yep.
Because you think it's easier for someone to remember you turn it this way and the opposite way when you're trying to get out if you're on fire or if the airplane's in the woods somewhere. And you're
fair.
inverted.
Right. Right.
What if you landed in the trees, or what if you landed on a field somewhere and the nose wheel dug in and the airplane flipped over? So
Right.
now you're upside down, you're trying to figure out what everything's doing upside down and handle your stuff, and you're trying to tell them how to open the door.
Yep.
Think it's worthwhile to have them do it on the ground first?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay.
You ever find an airplane with 6 seats like that beige one down there?
Mm-hmm.
Where you have 4 in the back and there's 2 up front? Have them all practice getting out.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had people squawk about doing that before until I say, if this thing's on fire, we have less than 10 minutes to get on the ground before you're dead. If you're on the ground, you have about 2 minutes to get out before you're consumed by fire and you're not going to be alive anymore.
Right.
Is this more important to you now?
Right.
Sometimes you make it a little softer, but as we both
Right.
So, pull it in, close it, same thing, have them walk through the process.
Okay, that's fair.
Good.
And the other door is in the back. You're gonna have to kick that one out.
What door?
There's a cargo door back behind the rear passenger seat on
good.
your side.
How do I do that?
So you can put your back up against this side, against the bulkhead, and push out with your feet to pop it open.
Good. So you gotta tell them that. Because think about it, these things because you're here.
Right.
But if I'm new to this completely and I don't know,
Yep.
and you say kick the door out,
Yeah.
where
Where's
is
the
it?
door? Yeah.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
Good. What else would I want to know about?
So since we're flying VFR today, I'd like your help looking out for other aircraft. So just keep scanning the skies. I'll point one out so you see what they look like from the air once we get up in the air. Sometimes they're hard to see; they look like little black gnats. And sometimes, if they're below the horizon, they're even harder to see. But definitely would appreciate your help. And since you're a pilot as well, if you're going to want to take control of the airplane for any reason, I'd like to see a positive exchange of the controls. So you can say I have the aircraft, I'll say you have the aircraft, you can reply I have the aircraft, and
Good.
you're good to go.
Okay. I
Okay.
think we've covered most of it.
All right, cool.
One other thing. If we
Yes,
had to
sir.
get out, what would be the plan?
You would be out the door 1st. I'm the pilot in command, so I would be the last one out the door.
Am I going to sit on the wing like the water landings in U.S. Air when they have the little pamphlet and everyone's just hanging out on the wing of the airplane? Are we going to do that?
Nope.
There you go.
So I would.
Ooh.
Never been asked this question.
I know.
Get out of the plane, exit the plane to the back,
The rear.
to the rear.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Just in case there's a fire or something up front, we want to get away from the business end of the plane.
Okay. Now we hit all the points.
Okay.
This is why we practice in advance. So then the
Yep.
first time you're having to figure this out is with your wife sitting here, and then
Right.
she's like, "What do you mean they're little gnats? What are you talking about? VFR? Who's that?" All right, good.
Fair enough.
All right, let's get this thing started.
All right. Before starting engine, brakes set. Actually, parking brakes on. I'll just leave it on. Carburetor heat is off. Fuel selector is on the low tank that we're going to start on. We'll switch it when we get up to the line. Avionics master switch is off. Throttle's cracked open. Master switch on. Electric fuel pump on. and then off again. Set the mixture to full rich. We can start the throttle. Now it is warm. Do we need primer?
Nope.
Okay.
Clear prop.
Loud and clear. Loud and clear. Sorry, let me just... Okay, engine started, so we can move on from there. The warm-up mixture is lean for taxi, throttles at 1,000 to 1,200, exterior lights are where we want them, avionics is on already, transponder is on, set standby. I already have ATIS. Okay. 121.6 and 119.6, we have our ground frequencies. Got that for when we come back. Okay. So we are actually ready to taxi if you are. Okay. Now I'm ready. Okay. So I'll release the brakes and I'll check my brakes. So holding the brakes in, I'm going to apply a little bit of power, make sure that the airplane does not move, and it doesn't, bring it back down. Release the brakes, make sure, let it roll forward. And step on them to make sure they work. Good. And they do. Cheesecake.
Apparently it's the end of the world, man. You know, that's how it goes. One day you're in, the next day you're fat.
I love cheesecake.
I do too. And I had an extra big piece after he said that. I was like, here, take it and enjoy it.
Alright, 112.6, and the information was Lima. Running ground, Cherokee 2476 Mike, coming out of midfield with information Lima, ready to taxi.
Number 2476 Mike, running ground, taxi to runway 20.
Taxi runway 20, 2476 Mike. Okay, so he didn't give us explicit instructions, but I can surmise, based on the fact that we're in midfield here, we're going to come out on Delta. We're going to take a left onto Alpha to taxi over to 20. We're actually going to taxi up to the run-up area here. We'll be mindful of that hot spot, make sure there's no helicopter activity there as well.
Off we go.
Before we do that, I'm going to switch tanks. Good. So with the fuel pump off, I'm switching the tank from right to left. We still got good fuel pressure, so our engine-driven fuel pump is running.
Excellent.
Okay.
Now, you're going to notice I'm fairly quiet today. It's kind of like before you soloed, before you did your cross countries, where I didn't really say all that much, and it's for the same reason, because I'm just trying to let you be the boss. And
Okay.
the examiner's not going to chat you up the whole time. They're just going to be pretty quiet, and they're just kind of watching to make sure that you're safe.
Clear on the right. Clear on the left.
Good.
Okay. And we got a little bit of crosswind, so we got a rear quarter and crosswind from the left, so we'll go down and away.
Good. Now, Monday, what's your availability look like?
Monday I have some phone calls to deal with, but I can probably be flexible, probably easier in the afternoon.
Okay. May send you for a mock check ride with Tim. That's going to be the exact same thing you're going to do with Royal Griffin. So that way you get to see what the whole thing looks like before, so that when you do with Royal, you have no surprises.
Fair enough.
That's the examiner's plane right there, actually, that little white and blue 172.
Oh, cool.
As far as I'm concerned, though, we're going to sign you off probably tomorrow.
Okay.
So that way you'll be set. Monday is going to be more for you, so that if you have areas that you have, you know, we find something that's, you know, whatever, we can talk about it beforehand.
Okay.
Sometimes it's good to get a second pair of eyes, but the biggest reason is it really settles your nerves, because then when you go into it, you know exactly what to expect.
Sure.
Running ground, Warrior 3077 Mike, midfield ramp, ready to taxi with Lima.
And 3077 Mike, running ground, taxi to runway 20.
Thank you.
Taxi to runway 2077 Mike.
Hotspot's clear.
Perfect. You're ready though, man. Like you're gonna be just fine.
Thank you.
By the end of this week, man, you'll have your license. You join less than 1% of the U.S. population. That's kind of what.
That's assuming I pass, of course.
You're gonna pass. Trust me. I don't sign people off unless I'm 1,000% sure. So I'm 7 for 7, man. You know, not to put any pressure on you or anything, but.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna do our ground check here. Ground check. Mixture is going to go back to full rich. We're going to put our feet on the brakes here and throttle to 2,000 RPM. And we'll go ahead and check our magnetos. So we'll check our left first. We're looking for a drop. And we got a 50 RPM drop. And we get that right back. We'll do the right. Good drop on that, and it also comes back. We've got suction at 5. Oil temperature is in the green, oil pressure is in the green, annunciator panel, all 3 light up. Do a carburetor heat check here. So we have a drop in RPM, we apply carburetor heat, we'll bring it down to idle, make sure that it runs at idle with carburetor heat on. And it does. Good. Carb heat off, back to 1,000. Fuel pump is off, fuel pressure is good with the fuel pump off, throttle's back at 1,000. Ground check's complete, we'll move on to the before takeoff. So we've got the master switch on, flight instruments. Let's give those a look here. This thing screwed me up, I'll set it when we get in the air, that screwed me up the other day. We have that already set based on our ATIS information, I'm gonna double check that.
Now when it screwed you up, were you looking at the orange or were you looking at the edges?
I was looking at the oranges, yeah.
So remember, keep your eyes on the edges.
Right.
Then you don't have to worry about it. That orange thing could be wherever it is it wants to be, but the edges will never lie to you.
That makes sense. And that's a little off. Alright. Flight instruments are good. Fuel selector is on the tank we're going to take off in, the fuller tank. Electric fuel pump is coming on. We'll get our light. Engine gauges are still green. Carburetor heat is off. Seatbacks are Rex. Mixture is set to full rich. Primer is locked. Belts and harnesses are fastened. Empty seats are empty. Flaps, we'll talk about that. Trim tab is set.
Yeah, we just missed the strokes. I'll put those on.
Yep, thank you. Controls. Pardon me. Are free and clear. Oh, cool. I didn't even know that was a door.
Yeah. It's kind of neat. I have no idea what the hell that stuff is in there, but...
The drug supply.
Probably. Yeah, don't tell anybody.
Radio and transponder set, doors locked, so we're good to go.
Soft fuel takeoff, please.
Soft fuel takeoff. Okay. Do you want me to brief it?
Oh yeah. And then if your checklist is done, just open it on up to the checklist right in there.
Okay. So for a soft field takeoff, that's not it.
There you go. And there's always an obstacle, so we have an obstacle.
Okay, soft field takeoff with obstacles. So we're going to do flaps to 25 degrees. Once we get clearance to take off, we're going to come back on the elevator all the way. We're going to taxi onto the center line of the runway, nice wide turns. We're not going to stop at all. We're going to apply full throttle once we're on the center line. We're going to lift off at the slowest possible speed, pitch forward a little bit to flying ground effect until we get up to 52 knots.
Okay.
Once we clear the obstacle, we're going to pitch nose over, looking for 79, work the flaps out.
All right.
Emergency check, sorry. Take off emergencies. If we are not off the ground by the time we get to Delta, we're going to retard the throttle and use the remainder of the runway to stop. I think with the 25 degrees of flaps we'll be okay, but that'll be the plan. Otherwise we'll rotate as soon as we get off the ground. If we lose the engine below 1,000 feet, we're going to continue to fly straight ahead. Small corrections, pitching for best glide, 73 knots. Find some place to put it down. Above 1,000 feet, we're going to make the turn back to the airport. The windsock shows the wind coming from the right, so we'll make a turn to the right to head back to the airport.
Okay. I have no questions.
No questions? Okay. We'll taxi up the line then.
Hang on. stop for a sec. It's annoying. And close. Nope. There you go. Good. Alright, we're good now.
Want that popping out in the middle of the flight?
Wouldn't matter if it did, but this door's just a pain in the ass. It never works well.
Another warrior door.
Yep, and I was gonna say, yep, another one bites the dust.
Alright. What direction would you like to go?
Southwest.
Southwest. Alright, switch over to tower. We're going southwest. Alright, tower, Cherokee 2476 Mike, holding short runway 20, ready for departure southwest.
Cherokee 2476 Mike, wind 190 at 7, gust 17, runway 20 cleared for takeoff, on course approved.
Clear for takeoff, runway 20 on course, 76 Mike.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to come all the way back on the elevator. We're looking at our approach, base and final, make sure that that's clear.
Good.
And we're looking down the runway, make sure that's clear, and it is. So feet to the floor, we're off the brakes, we're going to make a nice wide turn here, get down to the center line. Don't want to stop, so we don't sink in the mud, so we're going to go full power here. Holding the elevator back, wheels already off the ground.
There you go, start lowering the nose, lower the nose. You want to stay in that ground effect?
Yep.
Good. There's your 52.
Alright, so now we're going to...
Want to climb first to clear that 50-foot obstacle, right?
Yep.
Good.
Alright, flaps are out. Get up to 79 here.
Good.
There it is. Now is he looking for me to peg 79 and just hold it there, or?
Yep, just kind of view the horizon, because that way you're looking for traffic, right?
Right.
Actually, we'll keep this heading for a couple of minutes just to clear Weathersfield here a little bit more before we make our turn.
Okay.
So we can still follow the noise abatement even though we're going southwest pretty much over the town by getting to, 800 or 1,000 feet before we make our turn. That just makes us be good neighbors to them. Even though the airport was there first, and I can't get away without saying that every time, but that's all right. So this would be kind of an example of a marginal VFR day, You've got layers of clouds. If you look out to the southwest over there, it's starting to poke down, so we'll see what we get done. All right, so let's go to a 220 heading now.
Okay, 220.
Hell, don't even go to like 220, 225, somewhere there.
Okay.
Actually, you see that green field right over there? Yeah, start turning me left towards that. Yeah, this is good enough actual noise level here. I want to keep us close to Robertson, but not. We're trying to pick our way through the clouds so we can get on top of it.
Right. Okay. Alright, after takeoff checklist, flaps are retracted. We're at the speed we want. We're going to go fuel pump off, landing lights off, leave our tips on.
Tower Warrior 3077 Mike, ready for takeoff, runway 20, departure to the east.
3077 Mike, Brandon Tower, runway 20, line up and wait.
Line up and wait, runway 2077 Mike.
7 November Echo, traffic taking the runway and holding in position. Is a Piper Warrior, he wants to depart and turn eastbound.
Okay, we can stay west of runway 20 if you'd like.
That'll work for now until he gets airborne and turns. 7 Echo, remain west of the extended center line of runway 220.
We'll remain west of the extended center line of 220, helicopters 27 November Echo, thanks.
3077 Mike, runway 20, cleared for takeoff, left turn on course.
Alright, this is going to be called, you have an instructor on board who's instrument rated, so we're going to have this. Okay. What we're going to do is kind of maintaining our legal cloud clearance minimums and all that good stuff. We're going to duck up above these clouds. Okay. And do maneuvers on top of them. Because there's no way we're going to have the maneuvering margin to do it below. Right. But, I mean, here we are, we're only at 2,000 feet, here's the ceiling. Yeah. You know, this is turning into an overcast layer down there. Yep. And actually, can you see the shoreline? Nope. No, because there's advection fog and a low overcast at about 300 feet down there. Did you look at the weather at all before you came out? Yeah. Okay. And that's what I noticed. Yeah, Groton was like, has been socked in all day. Yep. And that's advection fog at its best. You get a very moist air mass, you get enough wind to kind of keep the moist ocean air blowing up towards it, and it just gets nasty real quick. Yeah. So, we're going to kind of hook a little right, and then when we get above this little fuzzy crap here, we're going to kind of come left and get up back on top of it, heading more towards Middletown again. Okay. I was hoping to bring you into this area to kind of give you the lay of the land, because this is where you're going to go on your jet ride, but we don't have the ceiling to be able to do that. So we'll hope tomorrow that we do. We will tomorrow, but this is all one big temperature inversion. Yeah. You know, again, they're at every layer of the atmosphere, so I always point them out when we're in them. That's why we're getting these thermals, because it's just pushing this air up. In another couple hours to start a right turn.
Behind you on your left side, just south of the field, starting as left turn eastbound.
Traffic in sight, we'll maintain visual separation. Helicopter 27 November Echo.
7 November Echo, roger, resume on navigation on course.
And now we're going to start a looping left turn, going to the left. Okay. And this is keeping our 1.5 and 2, but it's also so that if there is some 1 IFR, they're maneuvering through layers, we can see them. We're kind of doing our diligence on the traffic avoidance front. Now let's see if, we're going to have to go higher than 37. Let's go up to 55. Okay. That way, right? Yeah. Yep. That'll give us a nice comfortable margin to climb. We're above Brainerd's airspace and we're laterally outside of the boundary, so this is okay. But this is especially, you know, again, if you were VFR only, I wouldn't do this. But if you're, even if you're instrument rated, you know, like I am, and we're technically VFR, my eyes are peeled on this kind of stuff because it's like someone can duck out of one of these layers. Oh yeah. You never see them. But you know, legally, we're within the 152 here, no problem. So this looks fine. Pretty to look at least. Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Yeah, this stuff's going to fill in. Because what this is all that stuff that was blowing off the water is coming up here and creating these low stratus layer of clouds. Yep. And stratus layer clouds in general typically don't go higher than 12,000 feet. You can see these are pretty capped right here. Yep. I'm just wondering if they go all the way over there, and that's another layer that we can't get below. So we're going to kind of just stay in this little hole. So when we get to 37, just keep me level here, and we're just going to kind of maneuver back and forth in this little margin here. Okay. So we can at least get done some slow flight and some stalls, and then we can go back to Brainerd and do some landings. Okay. And tomorrow we get more, we may get enough margin to do steep turns. I'm not sure if we're going to get it though. All right, so there's 37. So pitch. Power. All right, see if we can start a left 360-degree turn, 30 degrees bank. Okay. I'm just gonna hope that we can maintain our curve. If we can't, so we'll just do a 90 and 90 to come back. And start back to the right. Tell you what, keep me straight on this heading for now. Good enough, we'll consider that our 90 and 90. Let's go through some slope light. So get me through some slope light at this altitude.
Okay, so slow fight.
Helicopter 7
Reduce
November
my
Echo
throttle.
clearing the area to the south.
Already
Do you
below
want
the
to
white
continue
arc,
with
so I'm
Bradley?
gonna bring all those in.
Negative, Victor 7 November Echo.
Alright, 7 November Echo, Squawk VFR code frequency change approved.
Frequency change approved, Squawk VFR. Thank you. 7 November Echo.
You want it to the stall horn?
Oh yeah, minimum control player speed, please. Good, don't let us lose altitude. And then report so you can make your life a hell of a lot easier by doing that, right?
Good idea.
Good. Oh, nice. Alright, I'd like a right turn to a heading of 240, please.
240. So we're going to do a standard right turn to the right here.
Alright, I'd like a left turn to a heading of 150 now.
150?
And when you get to 150, you may recover and be back to straight and level cruise flight.
Alright.
Love it. Horn playing the whole time, very good.
Alright, there's our 150. So we're going to go, man, I'm trying to remember the order now. Do I go full power?
Full power. Full
Okay.
power. Don't lose altitude, don't climb, just maintain. The first notch of flaps can come out. And as you start to accelerate, which you will, with your 360 and then slowly lower the rest of the floor while keeping us right at 3,700 feet. Good. And let it speed up again. That's the trick with this, because when you want to jam the power in, the airplane wants to climb, we have a lot of trim in, and all that goes up. Good. Good, so now we're recovered again.
Yep. Back to cruise.
Good. Alright, now I'd like to see a power off stall.
Power off stall, okay? So now when I do the power off stall, do I go through a whole scenario like I'm coming into land?
I don't know. What would you do first? Guess how you feel your check ride. Not doing cleared turns before each and every single maneuver.
Okay.
Oh, let's do it one to the left if we can get away with it. You can do a 180-degree turn, or you can do two 90-degree turns. It's up to you. Either way is fine. But
Okay, so I got to make sure everything after every single
every single
or
one.
before rather, before every single one.
Yep, every single one. Going to pot out here pretty quick.
What's that?
Just to give you a lay of the land, this would be low IFR conditions to the south.
Yep.
That's coming up this way. That's not too far. I mean, before you can't even see good speed now, so. And a 210.
Okay, so clearing turns are complete. So you want to say power off stall.
And a descending right turn.
Descending right turn.
Yep, so how do we set up for power off stall? The same way we set up for slow flight.
Right, so we're below the white arc. We can put in our flaps. Go carb heat on. And we're going to do a descending right turn.
Do we want to descend yet? Are we at landing speed?
Oh, okay.
Hold that nose up,
Right.
and hold your altitude. Wait till you get to, 70 or so. Now
Right.
start that
Now we can
descending.
Start that descent. Okay.
And just a nice little baby right there. Now we're like powered idle. And now initiate the stall. They're just going to try to hold level flight. Try doing it in the turn, so kind of just keeping a little bit of bank and try holding level flight in the turn. But don't take the turn out. Yep, trying to keep holding level, try to keep holding level. Feel that shuttering? That's the stall.
Okay. Alright,
So the first notch flaps comes out right away. Because that's going to help you climb, and then as you get through 60, then the rest of them come out. Okay. Good, give me a climbing left turn at 65 knots to a heading of 270. All the flaps out. 65 knots, if I want to constant airspeed climb, just keep the nose coming up. Keep the nose coming up. Now we're going to do a power on stall on this turn.
Okay.
So just keep the nose coming up. And keep the turn coming.
Alright, you want me to have full power here?
Yep. Keep the turn coming. I want to stay in the turn the whole time. So keep pulling, because we're trying to induce a stall, right? So we've got to keep some back pressure coming in the turn. And you recover at the first indication of the stall. Feel that shuttering?
Yep.
Remember, it's not a push, so let's try that again a little smoother. So
Okay.
let's come into that turn, start adding some back pressure. Start adding some back pressure. Feel that buffeting? That is the stall, so just gently lower the nose. Just that much. So lower first, then worry about making the turn.
Okay.
Because if we turn while we haven't broken that stall, now what are we doing by adding that opposite aileron? We're going to increase the drag on the stalled wing. That's how we spin.
Yep.
Let's try that one more time to the
Okay.
left. So take some power off just a little bit. Now start a climbing right turn. Good. Now just hold this. Let the airspeed bleed off. And as we keep pulling back, it's going to want to make you put in that opposite aileron to begin with.
Right.
Remember how we did that with that cross-controlled stall to show you that?
Yep.
So keep adding some back pressure, keep adding some back pressure, keep adding some back pressure. Feel that stall?
Yep.
That's the stall. So just relax the back pressure first. Now come to level that we're out of the critical angle of attack. So don't do them at the same time.
Okay, yeah.
Get out of that critical angle of attack
Yeah.
first at that level. Look at that, we lost no altitude by doing that.
Yep.
So it really works out fine either way all the time. All right, good.
Cool.
Good, good, good. All right, have your throttle for a sec.
Alright, you have throttle.
And you're just quit. What's first?
Pitch for best glide. 73 knots.
Yeah, no what?
Oh, we're looking for someplace to go?
Go.
Little grass street right there. I got that one straight ahead down there. On. Go to.
Where are the winds coming from?
Winds are coming from the south. So this will set me up. This is we're into the wind now.
Okay.
So now I want to go through my checklist. So I want to do carb heat on, mixture full rich, fuel pump on. I want to make
Just
sure.
talk through everything.
What's that?
Just talk through everything. You don't have to put the fuel
Okay.
pump on, just talk through it.
I want to make sure my primer's locked. I want to switch my tanks, make sure my mags are good, and I want to back that up with my checklist.
Great, and the engine didn't start.
If the engine didn't start, we're going to, once we're committed, so we're committed to land at this point. So if the engines didn't start, I'm going to go, well, I'm going to communicate first, right? So I'm going to call probably 123 or 5, Squawk 7700 on the transponder, let them know that I'm going down so they know where I am. Then I'm going to kill my master, make sure to idle cut off, throttle cut off, tanks off, and pop the door.
Okay. Well, I don't know. You're the pilot. You tell me what we're doing.
I'm gonna go for that one right there.
Alright.
So I would go over here. I don't want to get too close to these clouds. And then what we would do is once we're over the field, we're going to spiral down to set up for that landing into the wind.
Alright.
You need to make sure you have your seatbelt on and be ready with the door.
You.
Yeah, this is a much better field.
Okay. Alright, start a right turn. I want you to pick that field just because it's outside of where the clouds are. So now, if we were to make a turn for this field, what kind of a turn would this be if the winds are out of the south?
Downwind.
Right, good.
And we've got 2,000 feet.
So
for that field, we would need to do one orbit to get down to 1,000 feet to set up for the landing.
But notice, make that turn though whenever you get there, right? Because this is like a, yeah. So try this, we're gonna do this together. Just hang with me on what that would take. Yeah. While pushing. This is uncomfortable.
Yep.
But I want to show you because this is important. Watch how much altitude we're going to lose in this turn. Now we're coming upwind. All this is descending turn around a point. But do you see that we have to do it that steep to keep us from losing that much altitude?
Yep.
Okay. Come back to level flight and recover. I want you to stay at 1,500 feet.
Okay.
So 1,500, get some power back in there. Good, and just keep me on the setting. Got your carpet coming off. Thank you. Hold the setting. We're going to do some turns around a point around our favorite high school track that we haven't seen in quite a while. Okay. It's off the nose. I'll steer you towards it. Just keep me right at 1,500 and no lower at any time.
No lower than 15.
There's traffic off the right. I have them in sight. Now just get yourself set back up for cruise again. Now the one thing we haven't checked the whole time was to make sure that timer was done before we took off so we know when to switch tanks.
Yep.
So just kind of keep that in your scan as well. Alright, look right off the nose. See that little red-green space opening up here about 12 o'clock?
Red-green?
Right off the nose, coming up in
Oh
front.
yeah, I see.
That's our track.
Okay.
We're already in a downwind position, which is always how we want to enter these, so show me a turnaround point around that track.
Okay.
Rainer Tower, Tomahawk 250 Yankee Alpha, 10 miles southwest with information. Mike, coming in for full stop landing.
Tomahawk 250 Yankee Alpha, Rainer Tower, make right traffic, runway 20, report midfield downwind.
We'll report on the right midfield downwind for runway 20, 250
right.
Yankee Alpha.
Kind of close to it here. Let me go
Good evening, Brainerd. Bonanza 1546 Romeo is 10 to the northeast with Lima landing.
Bonanza 1546 Romeo, Brainerd Tower, make straight in runway 20, report 2 mile final.
Straight in for 20, report 2 mile final, 46 Romeo.
Are you upwind, downwind, crosswind?
Right now we are into the wind.
Good.
Now we can see because our ground speed is slow.
Good. All right, I'd like to see another turn around this.
Okay.
So your ground speed's increasing?
Yep.
So what does your bank angle need to be doing? Good. Yeah, give me one more turn around. All right.
Controller and initial contact. You have ATIS information, Mike. After Brainerd Airport, ATIS information, Mike. Time 2053 Zulu. The wind is 180 at 11, visibility 10. Scattered clouds at 3,400. Temperature 23, dew point 14, altimeter 3022. Landing and departing runway 20. Arrivals can expect vectors for visual approach.
So you see how we keep getting pushed into the point?
Yeah.
Because we need to get a little steeper.
Numerous birds on in the vicinity.
There you go. Because now you can see how you're almost getting pushed over the track because we've gotten progressively pushed inside of it.
Yep. I feel like when I was over there, I needed to fly out a little bit more before
Good.
I turned in.
Then fix it. If you know that's true, then just do that.
Yep.
So tell you what, widen out a little bit and then show me one more good turn around this and see if you can fix it without me saying anything.
Okay.
The closer you get, the steeper your bank angles have to be to keep you over the point.
Yep.
You don't want to get too far away, but if you stay further, it gives you a little more forgiveness in how to fix that. Does that make sense?
Yep. Clear to land 2046 Romeo.
I think we timed this just right, man, because we would have lost all of our holes up there to really get anything done.
Yeah.
Rainer Tower, Tomahawk 250, Yankee Alpha, entering the right downwind
like
for runway 20.
Right around when I start to make this
Yankee
turn,
Alpha,
when I start
Brainerd
getting blown in.
Yep, because sometimes we have to grab to maintain that. Now get that 1500 back, don't even let yourself have 50
on a
feet.
1.5 mile straight in 250 Yankee Alpha.
Good.
Okay.
All right.
So now, this has got to be fairly shallow.
Yeah, exactly, until you see it really start to whip around. So again,
Right.
cheat. Pick points around it that you want to fly over that you know are an equal distance away, and then fly to those points. So that way you have markers as you go around to say, how am I doing?
250 Yankee Alpha, landing traffic in sight.
So now you can see, like if I'm picking that intersection, see how we're getting swept away from it? Now we need to turn a little more to keep it there, right?
Number 2, clear to land following traffic, 250 Yankee Alpha.
There you go. This is better. And notice we don't have to go as steep here, because look, if we go too steep, and then we're going to get pushed into it again, right?
Yep.
So we kind of allowed ourselves to get pushed in again, kind of. Did you see that?
Yeah.
All right. So keep that left turn. Let's try this one more time.
Yeah, I'd like to do it one more time.
So let's fly out towards the CNG tank, and then we're going to come back around at this again. So kind of just keep me a nice left turn, because I don't want to go into Brainerd airspace.
Got it.
And we're just going to kind of fly a complete wide circle so we can kind of come at it again from a downwind position.
Okay.
So give me like a 250 heading, maybe 260, somewhere in there. Did you see what we're doing? We're going to kind of just go out and then come back.
Yep. Got it.
So again, kind of pick points around it to make yourself, you know, so you can cheat a little bit and make it easier. And just say, where am I relative to those points? And if you start getting inside or outside of those points, then you know something needs to change. Because otherwise, how do you have a litmus test? Because if it may not be at this field, let's say it's in another field.
Right.
You know, you can't use set landmarks everywhere, so that way it makes it a little easier on you.
46 Romeo, exit there, Charlie, and where's your parking?
What's with Atlantic for 46 Romeo?
46 Romeo to Atlantic, taxi with me.
Now another thing we were doing is kind of jockeying the power a little bit so we can change your airspeed. That's going to change it every time.
With you.
So if you're tripped for this and you're level, that's fine, but leave it here and then don't touch the power again.
Okay.
Alright, good. So kind of follow Route 9 here south for a sec, so we'll level the wings here for a minute. Because you want to give yourself enough time to set up, and that's the one thing about this I will say. Give yourself plenty of time to set up. Don't ever feel like you're rushed. Alright, and why don't we start at right 360, and we'll kind of come back in, and that way we're entering from kind of a downwind position again.
Okay.
Or even if you want to come out a little, teardrop it and come back to the left, that's fine too. Good. Now start making kind of a left sweeping turn to come back.
Zero Yankee Alpha, exit at Charlie, and north ramp taxi with me via turn right on Alpha.
Taxi north ramp via Charlie Alpha with you. 250 Yankee Alpha.
Alright, so there's your field, so now give yourself some room.
Right, it's already blown us in.
Yeah, exactly. Well, just level the wings for a second, look straight. Say, where am I getting pushed? And see how we're slowly going to drift it a little bit that way? So now you know. So we're for a little crosswind here, try making a slight left turn and notice the difference in speed and our ground speed if we go a little bit to the left. Try like 10 degrees to the left to start your turn. Right, a little more, a little more, a little more, a little more. Now, level wings here. So get a little pickup on the ground speed. So this is a true downwind position here now. Good, so now show me one good turn around this thing.
Alright.
one more good turn, sorry. Yeah. That's what I meant to say. They're not bad, I'm being picky, so. Any of the ones you did would have passed because you recognize the error, and that's the important part. But if you recognize the error, just fix it before I have to say something, because that's what the examiner is going to want to see too.
Okay.
They're not looking for perfection, they're just looking to see that you can figure out where your mistakes are and you can fix them. So see, like you've got the school, you've got an intersection up there, you know, pick stuff around this that you can fly at. Where's your altitude going?
I was so proud of my ground track.
Oh no, that's right.
Momentarily,
Hey, yeah, that's okay. Good, so this time we have to crab a little bit before we start the turn, right?
Yep.
There you go. Don't make huge changes with the power because then you're always going to be chasing it. Good, but where are we going relative to the point? See how we're outside of it? Gotta keep the turn coming a little bit. Just keep me going around in the circle because I want us to nail this a little bit more. So where are your eyes right now? Where are you looking for as you're coming around the point?
Kind of looking over here.
Okay. As long as it's an equal distance away, that's fine.
Yep.
There we go, this is looking better. And the winds are shifting too, they're coming more and more out of the south. I don't know if you've noticed that,
Yep.
but... Good, but don't let it go out too far. There you go. Alright, good.
Flight following. Advise ground control of your destination prior to taxiing for a transponder code assignment. Advise the controller on initial contact. You have ATIS information, Mike.
Alright, sir, point me up towards the airport here. Just keep the turn coming.
Okay.
Painter Tower, Cherokee 2476, Mike 7 South with Mike inbound for the option.
Cherokee 2476, Mike, Brandon Tower, make left traffic, runway 20, report midfield downwind.
Left traffic, Wilco 76 Mike, thanks.
Switch to tanks.
Good.
Brandon Tower, Warrior 3077, Mike, 10 miles to the east inbound with Mike.
Warrior 3077, Mike, Brandon Tower, ident.
The beat is.
Ident 77, Mike.
You said left traffic, right?
Correct. I'm gonna give you a normal one on the first one, just to warm up a little bit, and then we'll start getting into the fun stuff.
Alright.
And 77 Mike, traffic ahead, slightly to your left, northbound target indicating 1,200, about 11:30, 12 o'clock position.
Yeah, we got him on the scope, been looking for him, 77 Mike.
Alright, 77 Mike, proceed to midfield
The scope?
to enter left.
The scope? What
downwind,
the
runway
fuck are they
20.
talking about? What the hell's the scope?
Midfield left down.
I think it's a student. Oh, it's Mark though. I'm gonna mess with it.
76 Mike, I'm gonna have you cross over to a right-hand traffic pattern for me, please.
76 Mike, Wilco, we're turning. Alright, if we're going back in to land,
Yeah, you might want to do a landing check.
Oh, alright.
Fuel's already on the proper tank. Mixture is set to full rich. Electric fuel pump on. Seatbacks are right. Flaps are set. Seatbelts are fastened.
Yeah, we can put the landing light on too, since it's kind of murky out here. Yep. What we could do though is kind of
77 Mike,
slow down just a little bit, maybe come
behind you now.
Roger, 77 Mike.
you call the downwind?
What's that? No.
76 Mike, run the right downwind for runway 20.
Warrior 2476 Mike, runway 20, cleared for the option, on the go, make left traffic.
Go for the option 20, we'll go left traffic 76 Mike.
I was just going to ask that.
Oh yeah, nope. That's good.
Whipping us right around here.
Yeah, because we're getting really pushed, aren't we?
Yep.
Good. Good job catching that. Good. Yeah, but give yourself a base, because we don't want to have like a sloppy kind of hook around, you know, give yourself a base leg, and then we're getting pushed in either way, but
Okay.
that way you kind of have some kind of a squared turn, so that it's not just kind of a hook, you know what I mean?
Yep.
But that's fine. Good.
Center Tower, Warrior 3077 Mike, left downwind for runway 20.
Warrior 3077 Mike, wind 190 at 5, gust 17, runway 20, cleared to land.
Cleared to land, runway 2077 Mike.
Good, let it one more, now start one. Good.
Cleared a little too early.
Yeah, that's alright, no big deal.
55.
Good. Alright, soft field landing on the next one.
Soft field, okay.
What are we doing on the soft field? What's the only thing that changes with the soft field?
We keep a little power in.
It's a normal landing, but right before touchdown, right as we're about to touch, there's a small little bump of power.
Right, okay.
And we try to hold the nose wheel off on the landing as long as we can.
Yep.
Tell you what, we'll ask for a stop go on this one and do a short field instead, and with the soft field landing.
Okay.
So changing it up a little bit.
Okay.
And then anytime we're turning in the pattern, look left, clear left, and just vocalize it.
Okay. Look left, clear left. Got it.
Yeah, anytime you're doing anything for traffic, I can see you looking, but remember, if they don't hear you say it, it wasn't done, right? And then wait till we get to 1,000 before we get to, before we start to turn, because you want to make your downwind turn while you're climbing.
Okay.
Remember, for that collision avoidance thing, we would want to climb into the pattern for someone else.
Okay. Yep.
Good.
That makes sense. I was thinking that we're getting blown out that way, so I didn't want to get too far out.
Oh yeah,
That's
no,
why
we can make up for it. No, that's fine. Good. And when you make your midfield call, we're going to do that now. Just ask for a stop and go.
Amber Tower Jerky 2476 Mike, midfield. I'd like to do a stop and go on this one.
Warrior 2476 Mike, wind 210 at 7, gust 15, runway 20, cleared for the option.
Runway 20, clear for the option. 76 Mike.
Warrior 77 Mike, exited Charlie, taxi midfield parking with me.
All right, so
Charlie parking with you,
77. Power. That's 10. Trim.
Yeah, because we're really getting pushed up here, aren't we? So sometimes you have to start that turn a little earlier.
Yeah.
And maybe we need to increase our angle of bank, because let's see how much we're getting slid. Yeah, so 30 degrees is the maximum, but why not go over to it to help us come around? Look straight. See how we're getting drifted that way?
Yep.
So we would need to crab in more towards the runway to make that work.
Oh, I'm gonna get blown by here, but it's gonna push me back.
What would you do here?
I'll go around.
Absolutely.
Ember to ground, Tower Cherokee 2476 Mike's going around.
76 Mike, roger. Make left traffic.
Left traffic, 76 Mike.
Wind awareness.
Yes, sir.
Good, so yep, if that happens, you just climb with the extended runway center lines, you fly right over the runway.
Yep.
And you climb to 1,000 feet and then just, you know, give yourself the requisite distance before you make your turns.
Okay. So you want to be at traffic pattern altitude before you turn your downwind?
Correct.
Okay, that's...
I don't know if you remember us talking about that, remember, because if we turn while we're in the pattern, that creates a collision hazard for, you know...
No, it makes a lot of sense. I hadn't been practicing it that way. I got to...
More of an issue in high-wing airplanes, but nonetheless.
Yep.
And let's do the same thing with the collision avoidance. We just make a little left to stay out over the river.
Yep. Okay, so now we can make our crosswind here.
Yep. So look left, clear left.
Look left, clear left. And then we'll make our downwind.
Good. So this time we've got to think a little more about where the wind's coming from behind us and what that's going to mean for a turn. It's quartering, it's changing, you know what I mean? So it's kind of ranging from southeast to southwest. In that instance, we got pushed really hard on the tail, which you could see in the ground speed when we made that downwind turn. We were really, really getting pushed.
Yep.
You know, so that's something to kind of keep in mind too and be aware of.
Ember to Tower Cherokee 2476 Mike's midfield for the option.
Cherokee 2476 Mike, wind 200 at 7, gust 15, runway 20, cleared for the option.
20 clear for the option, sunset Mike.
You're just dead. Get me on the ground. So remember, best glide and good. You're smart to turn early, because you know you're going to get pushed.
Yep.
But don't turn too much that you can't get down. So you kind of let the wind help you by giving you some room to come down while it pushes you out a little bit more. And then when you know you're getting close, or you can make it like 600 feet or so, then you make your turn in. Now are we going to get there? Absolutely. Yep. Dump your flaps off. 1, 2, 3. And we'll make this one a full stop.
Okay.
Now that I know you would have made it, I want you to do the soft field technique here to land us. So your engine mysteriously is back.
Okay.
I love when that happens.
Sounds fast, but...
Oh, clean it up a little bit. There you go. Now it's a normal landing. Just let it come down a little more first. Nice. Now, power off, and just hold the nose wheel up. There you go. That's it. Okay. Then we keep it all the way back, all the way to the end.
Yep.
And 77 Mike will be full stop. We're going back to the ramp.
77 Mike, right turn off at Whiskey and midfield parking taxi with me.
We're off at Whiskey, midfield with you. Have a great night, 76 Mike.
You too.
Good. That was great.
Yeah.
2 for 1 on that one. Power off and a soft field. All in
Yeah,
one.
that soft field felt good.
Oh, you kidding me? The wheels rolled on. Yeah, it was all right. Good. Well, good. We got a lot done there.
Yep.
was ever actually closed, but that's okay.
Okay. Oh, flaps retracted. Carburetor heat off. Landing lights. Back to 1,000. Main.
Good. Center Tower, 63368.
Skywire 6336.
Good job. Pushing through the paces a little bit. Yeah, it's a lot. So you're not used to the rapid sequence of gun with things getting done, and I start to pick up the tone a little bit, because I'm trying to put a little pressure on you, so I'm doing that for a reason.
No, that's fine, and it's good because I've kind of heard you. There's almost a snowball effect when something doesn't go right, and you start thinking about it.
That's why I kept pushing you to keep just one thing to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next.
Yep.
And it went well. The turns around a point, those we'll go back to one more time. You know what I mean? And that's just because, hey, we haven't done it in a long time. And that's what happens. You do the cross-country phase, you don't do any of the maneuvers for like 10 hours, and you're out flying around in straight level flight most of the time, and just doing takeoffs and landings, and that stuff gets a little rusty, and that's why we do this.
Yep.
So nothing to worry about there. And they weren't bad by any stretch. I just want to see them a little more clean than that, and we'll get there. And the winds are a little funny today because we're getting this weird crap coming in. They're variable, so it was swinging around on you, and that's a tricky thing to catch.
I'd rather it be gusty and unpredictable than total easy, because...
Well, you would never do a check ride on a day like today anyway, ever. You know, gusting 17, and you make that go, no-go decision, by the way. They're not going to say to you, don't do it, but you're going to make that go, no-go decision.
Right.
Alright, good. I have no idea where the hell we're going to park, but we'll figure that out.
I can put it back where it was, I guess.
Yeah, oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Never mind. There's blonde hair coming in under here, Andy. It's happening. Must be because I'm tired. Or because I'm getting married, apparently, to someone I don't know.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I know, right? Apparently the cheesecake is a sign. I should have told him I was pregnant and see what he said to that.
Miracles of science.
Yeah, I was going to say. Arnold Schwarzenegger wasn't the only one.
546 Romeo is ready, holding short 20.
46 Romeo, hold for IFR release.
Holding short 2056 Romeo.
There's a 1546 Romeo on departure, fly heading 175, runway 20, cleared for takeoff.
On departure, we'll fly heading 175, we're cleared for takeoff 20, 1546 Romeo.
Alright, stopping engine, flaps, throttle, fuel pumps off, avionics, 3Ms.
Alright, that's good. We can bring it back. I got your avionics.
Ugh.